The film begins in the 1940s at the beginning of Don Corleone in America Video. He is the head of an ancient Italian mafia made up of members of his family from currently. Her adopted son Higgin and his eldest son Sonny are with her, and with them is another person named Bonatera. Bonatera starts talking to him. He is very cold to his daughter's wedding because, by the way, today he is telling him that I came to America a while ago and respected all the laws of the country, but America did not respect me. 2 young men assaulted my daughter and the court sentenced them. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison with a suspended sentence and they were released on the same day. Therefore, I am asking you now to bring me justice for my daughter at this moment. He said, he has a veto, but what will I benefit from? And I follow up by offering all the duties of loyalty and obedience. And they know that if he took his daughter's rights, they will do any service he can. He agrees, thanks him, leaves him, and then leaves. He goes out to his daughter's wedding house and goes to take pictures with his whole family. But he doesn't find his son, Michael. So he stops filming until he comes. Luca wants to meet him. And by the way, someone who works with them also tells him that a video he made on Luca's occasion is true. So we see it. Now he is practicing what he is supposed to say inside the veto. And he is sitting very close to Michael, Vito's son, who is still continuing also for joy. And by the way, Michael, my friend, is an army officer. And he currently has his American fiancée with him. It is important that he comes and enters Luca and goes, congratulations to him. At that time, they introduce Michael to his fiancée. So he welcomes them, leaves them, and walks. And when he walks, it is dangerous. Michael asks him about this, and he tells her that he is their adopted brother. Because in the past, his older brother, Sonny, has been in the street, took the video, and decided to raise him since then. He is the first video assistant and a very smart lawyer. Also, by the way, Luca goes to Vito and congratulates him with great love on his daughter's joy. He asks him to work with him. So they sit at his house and he will come back to work with them again. They thank Luca and he leaves after a while and arrives. Alfera is a famous singer whose name is always Michael, BTS's fiancé. Michael knows where does this man come from. So Michael knows that Johnny remains Vito's spiritual son in the first place. And Vito always helps him first, like for example, in Johnny's time when he started out as a singer, there was a producer who tied him to a contract with a very harsh penalty clause. Respect Vito took Luca and threatened this producer. So of course he went back on his decision and released. Of course he was terrified because this talk, but it certainly means that you do not know anything about Michael's family. So they know that Michael's job is his family's job. But he is not like them and his age will not be like them. He is walking legally, so I feel reassured. But Johnny is now going to Vito and keeps crying. He has a lot, and they know that there is a director named who is making a very strong war film and wants to participate in it. This movie is because it will help him become more and more famous. But it is a joke and hits Johnny Amin, so that he doesn't cry again and they can be reassured that he will solve this issue and pass by. Then he will come and travel. He reaches a solution with him that satisfies both parties. He actually travels, meets, and asks him to employ Johnny in the movie. But at that time he tells him, you don't know me. Ask about me well and know who I work with. And believe me, I don't. She will refuse me a request and he will leave it and walk away. The next day he will have asked about it and found out who he is working with. Very good. So he hosted him all the time in his palace to solve a problem music together. They also showed him his horse as a silencer, and I also know him. He bought this horse for $600,000. They go to have lunch at that time. He won't hire Johnny and asks him to talk to Vito. He sees something else, lighter, that he does for him, and he will motivate him all the time and tell him to come. Unfortunately, Vito, he will only be satisfied with what I asked for, and he leaves him and walks. And at night he wakes up because he finds his soul is covered in blood. So he does not look beside him and finds the horse's head, the very expensive silencer that he bought. He is very surprised and keeps screaming and knows that this is just a pinch on Vito's ear. So he reads it all the time and plays Johnny immediately. But Higgin goes to Vito and Sonny and tells them that there is a new job they want to do. There is a heroin trade, and they know that there is a dealer like this who wants to work with them. So he closes the video. He meets him and arrives with Suzu after that and informs them that he is working with the Tattaglia family. And these are boxes, by the way, my friend. An Italian woman has a gang and they live in America as well. In general, the side knows that it wants to expand its activity and work with them here and offer on a video He pays a full $1 million and works with them, and every year they earn approximately $4 million from him. He tells him, "The video is fine, but you definitely didn't come here because that's right." So they know Zook's voice is really coming here. But that's why Vito has a very high winning streak. It can also make his work much easier. My friend was not comfortable with Solzo, so he refused. He works with him completely as long as he asks him to go to Talia, and he pretends to leave. He works with Vito and wants to work with him. And of course, when one of them remains, he will know their secrets and know what exactly. And he actually goes to the casino of the Natalia family and meets there. He offers them to work with them. Of course, they do not believe him, and without warning, they blame him and kill him. Then they go out with one of several others and go and kidnap him. And on the other hand, a video is posted with his son and Fredo, meaning they buy some things. But the problem is that they know that their police did not come. So they are surprised Video, but he doesn't think much of it. He and Farida go to a store, go home and buy some things. Here, two of the children of the following arrive. At that time, he sees them and thinks that they are going to kill Philo. So he comes to them all the time to stop, but they take out the weapon and hit him with 5 bullets. They run away on the same day. At night, Michael is with him and the general sees that Vito was subjected to an attempt assassination. So Michael calls Sony quickly, and they find out everything that happened from beginning to end. Michael tells him, "Okay, I'm coming to you now." On the other hand, he is now, and they know that Vito is dead now. He wants him to convince Sony to work with him because if he doesn't do that, he will ally with the rest of the Italian families and they will finish off the entire Corleone family of Vito music. He goes out and gets a tip that one of his men, Suzu, they know that Vito Match is currently in the hospital. Of course he is fanatical and knows how to come. He has to make Vito agree, otherwise he will kill him, leave him, and leave. And everyone will be waiting for me and come to them in a completely normal way. But then the house tells you, and this is also one of the gang, that Paulie, of course. He is a traitor and his orders are always fatal. So he remembers that after a while they will receive a package from a family that follows 2 fish wrapped in clothes, Luca. They know that unfortunately he was killed. The next day, the Obligora booty comes out and takes him to a deserted place, and he kills him. And on the same day at night, Michael goes to visit his father in the hospital, but when he gets there, he finds the guards that are supposed to be there. They are guarding his father, but they are not present at the moment. So he feels something is wrong and calls quickly and tells him that he has been transferred. His father went to another room completely, so that Yamna would arrive after while to the baker in the area to check on him and so on. So he would take advantage of the opportunity to eat. They know that there are people who want to kill a video and now need his help. So the baker agrees and Michael takes him and they stand outside the hospital. They pretend to be guards, and that's nice, by the way. After a while, there will be men from the following family. They arrive, but when they find them outside, they leave. And Michael is still going to rest. He will take the police. They beat him for no reason, and of course they want to take the name here. Michael knows that this police force is definitely working for his own benefit. Solzo threatens the police commanders, but the police commander does not care, and it happens that he takes the name with him. But before he does that, they deliver Sonny and his men. They stop this officer completely after that, and he knows that they are here. But they protect him and all their weapons are licensed. Everything is in the law, and that's it. The officer doesn't really find anything to defend what he's doing. So he takes his men and leaves the next day. They go to the family and this house where they conduct suspicious operations. To the point that Michael himself, he has never come here at all and does not know him at all. And you will forget that, as I told you, he has always been far from this work is for the family at all. In general, they arrive home and meet them, and this means that someone also follows. The gang asks Michael Levy about his many men with weapons in the house, so they know he is now taking revenge on the end of the year. They enter and meet all of Sony, and Sony tells them that Solzo called me and asked me to negotiate with him. He wants to negotiate especially with Michael because Michael is peaceful in his speech, but this will not happen and I will kill everyone, the children of the following, and the officer's color helps them. By the way, if you don't take care, it's the same. The officer who tried to take Michael by name a while ago comes and intervenes and tells him, "No, we have to listen to them because Meknes is protecting Sulzo and an officer. It is of no use." Meaning Michael intervenes and tells them, "No, I will meet them." together, and he knows that they will then bribe the press to talk about Meknes in a big way. He is a very corrupt officer and also helps in the drug trade, and thus his reputation is tarnished, and no one, he cares that he is dead. And indeed, my dear, everyone is convinced by his words and decides that Michael, he goes to kill him. It doesn't take long and he goes. They don't see him all the time. They search him. Of course, they find any weapon, so they take it and go to the restaurant where they are supposed to stay. In a restaurant, Michael sits and eats with them and they talk. After a while, it was very normal for him to leave them and let them into the bathroom, and he would get a gun from there that he had hidden here. Because of course they knew that an interview would take place here, and he took the gun and kept thinking about what he would do, and in the end, he decided that he would continue and leave. He takes out a gun and shoots them, causing them to die instantly. The gun escapes after a while. After all of this, my friend takes a video out of the hospital and goes home and sits with Sonny and the rest. He is currently on the run in Sicily, so he is very upset by the video that he did not want the poor Michael. My friend, is currently involved with him in the family's stronghold, Sicily, and there are many guards with her. Now they are always protecting him, and at the head of these guards is the Don Tomathina, who comes with the cake now. They know that the world here is not safe, even in independence, which means it is of no use. He leaves him and walks with the guards here and there to get to know Sicily more and more. So he meets a girl. In the city, it is very beautiful, and the McQuill wakes up in every sense of the word. So he goes to a casino like this and meets the owner of this casino, and the one whose name tells him the characteristics of this girl may mean that this girl remains Apollonia's daughter at this moment. Michael is calm, and they know that his goal is honorable, and he wants to marry her, nothing more. So he is happy with him because he will suit him a family, and all the time, my friend, they have a wedding, and all the time they get married. And in America, he goes to his sister, and I mean, this is what we saw. She gets married, by the way, at first, completely, in general, when he goes because he finds her beaten, and you know that her husband was the one who beat her. So she gets angry, very much so. And they always go and beat a respectable beating and know that if he touches, he killed his sister again and left him and walked away. But he told him that he did not learn and would deal with her again like a monster. Now, for example, he beats her for no reason. He calls Sonny, and as soon as he knows that his sister was beaten, he takes his car and goes to her, but on the way, armed men from Talia's family come out and keep shooting him a lot. And he dies. Sony, unfortunately, at this moment. Sadness is overwhelming everyone, especially Vito. But despite that, he goes to Hagen and asks him to gather all the Italian families in New York because he has to stop. This war is because he doesn't want anyone else to lose. And indeed, all the families gather in Barzini's house. This means that the oldest Italian in America, by the way, retires as soon as the meeting begins, Lithuania, despite everything that happened after that. Everyone knows that he did not want to bring these drugs into their work at all, and that the police can. Their tolerance is very normal in smuggling alcohol, but not drugs. But despite that, they know that he will give up and allow everyone to trade drugs, and in return, they will make lasting peace with the families afterwards. He promises that they will not get close to Talia's family again. And this is essential, since Vito's words were really very logical. Everyone agrees with him, and peace begins. But you know, when a video comes out, he knows how crazy everything that happened is, that he was very excited. Very much for working in drugs. More than the movie Talia itself was what moved them to be, and know he is very close to taking revenge on him, but not now. On the other hand, news of Mazzoni reaches Michael. He gets very upset and can't get over his upset with Sony at all. And something worse happens once he and his wife's father are going on a trip. But something strange happens because Michael finds the guard. Whoever goes with them runs away after that without warning. The car explodes in Poland simply because the guard planted a bomb for Michael in it. But the lucky market was there, and of course Michael gets very upset in general. Many years have passed since this situation, and we are currently seeing Michael in America again. He meets his old fiancée and tells her that he is now in charge of all the box work, and that he still is. He also loves her and wants to marry her, and she agrees because she still loves him. After a while, Michael meets the family, and we know that the video has now grown and remains just a picture. Nothing more of the family here, and the current head of the family is now Michael. who now everyone knows that the right time has come for them to take their rights from a Brazilian and start the war again. And accordingly, Michael decides a little decisions like this. The first of which is that they will say that there is a casino like this in a hotel belonging to someone whose name is also that Hagen is no longer the family leader's assistant at all, but rather Heba. But their lawyer and Michael's assistant will be all his sister's husband. Music. He changed a lot and gained Michael's trust to a degree he now appointed him as his assistant. And because of this decision he gets upset, but his home makes him know that this is best for everyone. After that, Michael goes with his men and a hotel, and there they meet Fredo, his brother Michael, who has been living here for a while and learning from the situation of how he now runs the hotel and casino. And all this talk at that time comes, and they do not know Michael. They will buy at the hotel and casino, and he refuses, of course, and shouts with Michael, because not only Michael, he doesn't care and tells him to stay with him until tomorrow. Think about the price and what you will regret. He leaves it and goes back to New York, and he sits there with Vitoha. He will not leave you to control the entire country, and certainly now he is plotting to kill you. And they also know that he will definitely use one of his gang members to kill him. And they know it is very, very necessary that anyone in the family, as soon as he comes, tells him about the differences with each other, meaning he wants to work between them. A number of reconciliations must know at all times that he is a traitor and kill him at that moment. And that's it, sir. One day Vito will be playing with Anthony. And Anthony is Michael's son, and by the way, he is in the middle of an illusion they play together. Suddenly he gets tired and falls dead. A shocking and sad scene. You're holding a funeral for a video. My friend everyone attends it, including the funeral arrival, who they said will come now with the cake and let him know if he wants it. He meets him and knows that Michael is definitely the traitor, but he does not do anything and tells him to agree. After that he goes crazy and knows how to come. He is the traitor, and they know that she is very close to him. It is completely normal. And he also gets rid of all the heads of families because there is nothing left in America except your mind. And from here, my friend, how much passes one day despite all this talk, comes the birthday of Connie's son, and they said at that time that Michael would go to church and celebrate the birth, and he remained in the same breath. When Michael is in church, his men outside are all circling around Michael and killing him. There is one after the other, and all the heads of families, all of them, literally, at the same time are finished Michael. Despite all his enmity, there is only one left one day, and he told him why they finish in church. He goes and asks him to go home and wait because he really needs it. After a while, Michael goes home and meets Carlo there. He adds introductions and tells him, I know I had a fight because I was my sister so that Sonny could go. He follows her, and his prominent men kill him, just as happened. I am sure of all this talk, so do not deny it, because anyway, I won't kill you. I'll just keep you away from family work, nothing more. At that moment, he confesses, really say that he agreed with Brazil, and her father told him, Michael, okay, take some of yourselves and go so you can settle there from here. Of course, everyone is very happy. The matter went well, and he actually leaves, believing it, and just gets into the car. Suddenly he appears and continues to cheat on you until he dies. Michael has settled all his accounts and is on himself. Now the biggest gangster in all of America. After Michael finishes, he goes to his new home, Figgy's. His sister comes to him and fights with him because he killed her husband. He passes her by and tells her that it is better for her to leave him. She walks around the mallid angrily. My friend has been doing all of this for 7 whole years, and during this period we find Michael expanding the family's victory in a very big way. And currently he is at the family's house at a party. Kyria did this, Michael. The important thing is that the senator appears on the platform and begins to remain a representative in Congress. And in general, because he donated a lot of money to the university in Nevada, that's it. He comes down again, then he sits down after that too, a degree. Michael knows that he does not respect him at all and hates him, but they just have to act in front of him. All the people are working together, and he tells him, I knew that you have 3 hotels, and currently you will take the 4th hotel from, and they know that he will not allow it. He will take this hotel permanently unless he gives him $250,000, which also means 5% of the profits. All 4 of them belong to him, very hotels, and he tells him, if you don't do this, what will you do? He tells him Harfak and I will stop the moving boats for you. Of course, Michael does not care about all this talk at all, so he goes out dead while he is threatening, leaves him, and walks in. At the party, someone named Frank arrives with his assistant and meets him. Of course, he welcomes Frank very much because he is close to them and working. We have also been with them for a very long time, and we also know from their words that Frankie was working. Recently, my friend, he has been here to fix a few things with Michael, and they are sitting and helping him. He will let him meet him very soon, but not now, and that is because music, 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 music. You know that he no longer trusts anyone but him, and that is why they will take his place here in Nevada, and all the men will be at his command. So they will ask him, Amal, where are you going? So they know that Michael knew who betrayed him and brought you to forget him. So he goes now to deal with him and get rid of this matter. After that, he will finish some other things, and this will also move the family to another place completely. He leaves him after a while. He takes Michael to Miami and works there. He tells him that Frank is cheating on him. He wants to kill him, so he will travel to Brooklyn and deal with him. After that, he will return to him again so that they can go to Cuba together and fix their work there. So he agrees with what he says and takes Michael after him and goes to Brooklyn and meets Frank, but not. He tells Frank that he knows about this betrayal and lies to him and tells him that he discovered that Hemin is the one who he wanted to insult him. So Frank was very happy and told him to kill the brothers and himself in order to respond to them, music, and you will make a truce with him. There is still work with Hemin. I don't want to stop him. The next day he will take it. Some of them are always going to meet their brothers, and betrayal is present in the meeting because it is the first Frank does not enter. Someone comes from behind him and says to him, "Greetings, Michael Corleone." They choke on a rope, and we understand that Michael was not in doubt, so he dominated as he said, but he was making a plan against him, nothing more, to get rid of Frank himself. The important thing is that they stay with him and pull him into a secret room like this so that no one sees him. But at this time an officer enters and sees them, and in moments of friendship spreads with the two men, the brother, the officer, and the rest. Also the police. But despite all this that happened, Frank still dies. On the other hand, a surprise happens because someone receives a call from Juniora, keeps asking him about some things about Michael. So he tells him, "I won't listen to you at all, and I'm cheating on my other brother," and he closes the door with him. We know that Farida might be the traitor. He doesn't understand. Michael goes with him into Cuba. They and a group of investors, or corrupt people, meet your president, and he tells them that he is gathering the revolution here in his country, which is against him, in all the streets, and he succeeded in doing so to a very large extent, and from now on they can invest in it very normally. We know the country here. This is the project that Michael used to call a big leap for the family. The important thing is, they finish the meeting and walk. On the way, Michael sees officers arresting people and asking me, who was currently with him in Arabic, by the way, "Why is all this happening?" They know, Johnny, that the police are arresting the pictures and anyone who helps him. But here, my dear, in the midst of all this, one of the bracelets blows himself up and kills an officer with him. So he finds out. Michael at that moment said that life is not safe, but in general everyone goes and sits in a place like this and celebrates his birthday. He dominated at that time. He sits and everyone knows that they made the biggest investment in their lives, and Cuba has become almost theirs because of the great deal they were in. They have been doing it for a while, but Michael intervenes and tells them about the revolutionaries he saw and is very convinced that their money here is not safe at all. Then he talks to him a little far away. He keeps telling him, "Don't be afraid. The Cuban president will control the situation. Of course, very soon they will ask when the $2 million that you are supposed to pay in this deal will come." So Michael tells him tomorrow. It doesn't take long for him to reach it with the money. Michael takes it from him and carries it. Then he takes it to a place like this. They sit for a while, and when they sit, they say, "Michael has a secret I want to tell you. I know he was the one trying to kill, and that's why I will get rid of it at night, because if I don't do that, he will wake up a little and tell him, 'Okay,' and I will tell him what my role is. Michael wants you to pretend you don't know anything, and at night when they arrive, she and the members of the American government and she is my friend. Are the judges of the government American? Because, by the way, Cuba at that time was fighting against America. The important thing is that Michael knows that if he dies, he, the officials, and his role will reach it. He takes them out and spreads them out of the place completely, so that when he kills Hemin, they agree. It's very normal, without any discussion, that Michael takes the deal. And he's right, I know you are surprised now that the results, but they were able to hold him accountable now, and thus he has become very dependent on the family in general. Michael finishes his words now and goes to Hemin and Johnny. They are very surprised by his appearance because he does not have the money, so Michael tells them that the money is for preservation and maintenance. But there is a question I want answered. Why was he killed even though I didn't want to? And we know, my friend, that Michael was originally honest in his words to Frank from B and did not laugh at him, and Frank died against his will. The important thing is that Hemin tells him that he died because he was going to disrupt our work, and you killed a long time ago, not the one who was my friend. And yet I also understood your situation. I didn't tell you anything, and he knows how to sleep now, and tomorrow he wakes up and finds money with him or a subscription between them. He leaves him walking. At that moment, Michael goes to the casino where he is staying up late. Currently, the officials and the problem here are that Johnny and Farida are doing the same thing for the first time. They meet because they are not supposed to know each other and do not believe his idea, and they complete the party completely normally. But in the middle of the party, and I hold officials responsible. He asked Fredo and I knew the casino. Johnny said to me, here Michael is shocked and knows that. Farida is the traitor and he will go very crazy and not know how to do it. On the other hand, he will go to a guard. Michael is like this, and he goes in to kill and finds doctors and nurses with him because he was tired. And not, he kills him and waits until they take her from the hospital. He comes in and kills him, but the soldiers arrive. The Cuban army was coming to arrest Hemin, so they saw that at that moment, Michael's guard was trying to kill him quickly. He killed him for 1 second. These soldiers originally came here from the beginning because, my friend, in short, the revolution succeeded, and we know this. When we go back to Michael again at the party, the Cuban president comes out and everyone knows that the revolution succeeded, and they really have to run away. Everyone runs away at the moment and says, I know that you are very good, and he runs away from him. Michael goes out after him, and there are pictures everywhere and everywhere trying to catch anyone who follows him. The Cuban president, in order to kill him, Michael quickly sees him in Rada and tells him, come on, let's run away and don't be afraid. I won't leave you. You are definitely my brother, but there is a shower. He believes him and they leave Michael and he runs away alone and returns to America. After a few days, Michael goes to Huygen and asks him about a video. He tells him he ran away and I haven't received any other news about him. They say Michael tried to talk to him and tell him to come back and make him understand that this is definitely not the case, because he is my brother. The problem here, my friend, is that Hegel still knew Michael 2 pieces of news worse than each other. The first of which was that Hemin survived and still wanted to do well. The second news is that the child whose wife was pregnant with him. Of course, Michael is very upset and not from all of this. The next day, a trial will be held in the Senate, and William and Safrank will come and testify against Michael. And people know that Michael is also a mafia leader for all his crimes, very, very, very many. The next day, Michael is summoned to the Senate and they confront him with everything he did, but Michael walks away. All they know is a judge the trial has been postponed, and they also know that the next trial will have a new witness, and we must prepare. Because this witness will have a lot of tools with Huygen and the rest, so they know that the witness, the second, is Frank. And here we know that everything that happened in this casino did not happen. Either he kills him and the federal forces in exchange for him witnessing the Michael. When he hears all this, he gets very angry and tells him to act and leave him and go meet Farida instead of them being able to do so now. They arrive and he prefers to swear to him that he did not know that they wanted to leave him alone. But as usual, Michael is not. All this makes a difference to him, and he knows that he will definitely not kill him as long as his mother is alive. But they know he no longer has a place among the family and he has to leave him and walk. The next day in court, Frank comes, and then Michael comes right away. They will go crazy, and an old man named Van Shiro will be Frank's big brother. By the way, Michael is currently independent to threaten when he finds out, of course, that he is Shah, and Frank is the first he doesn't see his brother. Michael is very, very afraid that he might kill him, so he eats everything and becomes the judge. Of course, they will go crazy and not understand anything, and all the charges against everyone's will bring down your Uncle Michael after that. He returns home and has a new problem because his wife comes to him and tells him, "I'm tired of living with you and I want to take our daughter Anthony. The little girl, stay away from you." At that time, Michael retires from her because her life with him is difficult, and he tells her, "I know that you are very upset because of the child who went down dead, but this is not my fault." And what do you say to him that she is the one who brought the child down herself, that she does not want to leave behind again? Because he is a criminal, my friend gets very angry with Michael, so he hits her and expels him. From home, he tells her that the children will live with him here, and that she will come and visit them every now and then. If he even allows her to say this, after a while of all this, Michael's mother dies. She offers her a funeral, and Farida comes and attends the funeral as well. Then he goes to Hagen and asks him to talk to each other, him and Michael, but they know that Michael doesn't want to meet him at all. So Connie gets upset and goes to trick Michael into saying that he forgives Fido. They are sisters, so they actually forgive him, and he goes to his embrace, and they return well on the same day at night. Michael sits with Hagen and Bayer, his men. He tells them that since what happened in Cuba, Hyman has been going around all countries, but there is no one a country that received him completely. So they are now forced for him to return to America. Even though Michael will be tried here, and you let them know that he will not be able to control it because they will be killed, and he lets them know that Frank must also die if he is tall. What is alive is a threat to them. So everyone agreed with his words, and he goes to Frank and advises him he commits suicide instead of his family killing him and saying goodbye to him. He actually committed suicide. But Hemin arrives in America, and someone comes to him who follows Michael and kills him. Not in life, he runs away because the police are the same. But when I tell him, he still loves him because Michael is not satisfied with him. That's why one of his men, Michael's name, went to the sea with Fredo. He felt that they were fish, and in the middle of the sea, he pulls out his gun and kills Farida. And that's it. Michael is done on all his enemies. But this time, except for Michael, they were the closest people to him. And that's why he sits. Now he is alone, sad, and thinking about when they were all together and upset about the situation he has reached. Now, I still don't know what else he will lose in order to preserve the great empire he created. Perhaps every day of the year will pass. This period is a very respectable period, and we are now in 1979 seeing Michael, who has grown up. He is very old and is now writing a letter to his children. Anthony and Miriam instead sleep now. They live with because they did not like living with their father. The important thing is that Michael tells them in the message he loves them and is waiting for them to come to a charity party like this, which he is doing and will be repeated in. He will actually come on the day of the party. Antonio will be there, which means it is clear that music, you walk. After you walk, someone like this comes to him named Joey. And Joey, my friend, works with Michael and Kabir, and one of the cities that the family rules. The important thing is that Joey knows that there is someone in the city who is bothering him. So they say Michael Min, they know music. Michael knew that he was stopping him, nothing more. So there were always problems between them all the time. But Michael doesn't care about all this and tells him it doesn't matter. The important thing is that it benefits me in the first place, and tells him I, your relative, will benefit you more than him. Let's stay in his place. Of course, he refuses because he came educated and can benefit him more and more. And therefore Michael tells them that the only solution now is for you to work together, but they do not agree. And he comes to greet him so that he can reconcile with him, but he doesn't greet him. He literally eats his ear and hurts it, so Michael helps him take it. Then he walks and sits with them. They say, by the way, I liked you and I will keep you busy with him. He is very happy and thanks him. But that's about the party. And after the party, he goes home completely normally. But suddenly, they leave. Of course, they want to kill him. And he can tell from the other that the one who sold them here in order to kill him. Joey, after he finds out all this, kills this man as well, takes some of it, and continues his evening was very normal. Just like the next day, the news reached the Makil, so he called and shook it. and they knew that he would stay next to him all the while so he doesn't cause any more problems. He leaves him and walks away, and then Michael goes to sit with his accountant, and he comes and they sit too. They talk to each other. We know here that they are the workers of the charitable foundation that Michael was honored for a while ago. He has a malicious goal, and they are in control on a company affiliated with the Vatican. So they always donated the installment that brought Michael a little closer because he was affiliated with the Vatican music. Unfortunately, my friend music. They talk to him for a while, and we know that the priest remains assistant to the Pope of the Vatican. And from the installment, Michael knows that the money he took was stolen from him, and now he wants other money, which are donations. You must reach the church and see who will be separated and will have many problems. Michael, all the time he embezzled the money, but he takes advantage of the opportunity and tells her, "I will give you what you want, but let me in the company that the Vatican runs." According to the story, he was forced to do so, and the next day it was held. A big session like this is attended by investors in the company, including Michael and his men, and this is a story they have to partner with Michael, as investors initially refuse and accuse Michael of donating all the time, in order to enter into a stake in the company, nothing more. But Michael denies all of this, and they know that the charitable organization that supports the church is already under management, has nothing to do with it at all. So investors believe this and agree to the partnership. And they also know Michael that they also meet for a few days in the Vatican because Dad there believes in anal sex. So Michael stands up and walks, and when he goes, she sits with Amrik. "You tell him that you are exploiting me and putting me in the management of the institution so that I can remain a face only for your other work, legitimacy." And what happened today confirmed to her words at this moment that made her know that his job was in the company. There is a legal authority in the institution, and he will certainly not involve it in anything that tarnishes its reputation. So you believe Mary and he passes by the situation on the same day at night. This Dontabello cake comes and remains one of Abu's friends. Michael is very, very close to the family, and from there they know that there are investors among the people who work below his hand, is like Joey's, for example. They want to join him in the Vatican company, but Michael refuses that the company, it will go legally, and there will be no family thinking about it. Because if they are no longer your partners, they will think they really destroy you. He is still thinking about asking Altubian to prepare a meeting to meet everyone and agree. The Tupelo leaves him and walks away. The next day, Michael travels to the Vatican on time, but when he arrives there, he is surprised that Baba is sick, and not he will be able to come and believe in the partnership, and thus it is as if they did not agree on anything at all. Of course, with fanaticism, he tells them that you agreed from the beginning with what happened at that time. Everyone prefers to say anything inside any empty talk. And we know that they were basically teasing you and believing that Dad was tired of them stopping the partnership anyway. But Michael, they know that he will not remain silent and leave them and return to America. And in America, he goes and graduates an architect. We know that they started to love each other more and more. But of course, behind Michael's back in a year, in the same way. This night he travels with Michael to New Jersey and they go to meet him. Michael goes in to everyone and tells them that his work with them is over, but they know that he will definitely not leave them. He sends them a lot of checks for very respectable money. They have been working with them for a very long time. But this all of them are Joey, the only one who doesn't take anything. So he gets angry and fights with Michael. So Michael keeps making fun of him more. So he tells him he's coming right away. "Believe me, I will make you regret what you did and leave him alone." As soon as he comes back, the elder goes out and follows him all the time to get him and fix things. The world is between them and Michael. But as soon as he goes out, someone closes the door from the outside with handcuffs, and suddenly he appears on a helicopter and keeps shooting at everyone present. But everyone dies. Michael, thank God, they are running away, he said, and Michael keeps telling them he must have done this on his own. Surely someone is keeping him busy, and he is very, very suspicious of Philo. But before he catches up, he does anything. Gets tired, loses consciousness, so he quickly takes everyone to the hospital and leaves, meaning she came to him a simple thing, a diabetic coma. Despite the difficulty of the disease, the friend knew why it had some advantages in terms of, again, because you come to visit him, Mary and Anthony. And we see that the relationship has improved very, very much currently. His father has decided on a party for him in Sicily, and Michael agrees and tells him, "I will come to you." But he remains. He is now traveling for the installment and knows what happened to Michael. But he stresses to him that this deal is necessary. She walks as she is. The story agrees with his words, and he leaves and comes and walks. And here comes the department assistant. He sits and talks to the department, and we know from their words that they want to laugh at Michael in the first place, steal money from him, and get into nothing. They want to make all this money, nothing more, and at the same time keep the company away from Michael. In general, on the other hand, he is not at all satisfied with everything that happened and wants to take revenge on John, and because so he and two of his friends go, and the festival is like this. Without warning, they open fire on his men. John quickly runs away. But until he gets rid of him and runs away from the place in the hospital, they know everything that happened. So he gets very angry with them and orders them not to act on their own. Again, they agree with his words, of course, and remain silent. Not a long period of time passes over all of this, and they go to every Sicilian and heavy person they meet. The one who protected Michael, by the way, very, very long ago, when he came to hide in Sac. Why before that currently? Michael asks him if Tupelo is the one who might be doing this. So he tells him, Thomasina, oh, most likely. He and the one who ordered him could be Hexy, and this means one of the supposed Tupelos he is supposed to be working under his hands. But Michael forgets all of this now and goes to attend his son's party. At the party, he notices that Mario is very close to each other, and after the party, he talks to Barry and asks her stay away from him because his path is full of dangers. But Miriam refuses because they love each other. Leave him alone and leave later. This situation calls Michael, and they know that he needs a necessary mission, which is to go to Artobello, and they know that he intends to betray Michael. He wants to work with him so that of course he can be close to Artobello and know whether he was the one who moved Joyman first or what exactly. And he actually goes, they know that he wants to leave Michael and work for him and agree to the drum all the time. And he also takes him to meet so that he can start working with them on the side. The second one goes to Michael and meets a respectable installment named John. And John knows everything about the palace. He scammed him with money. So John kept saying that he would solve this problem very soon. John began to notice that Michael was very sad and did not look comfortable. So he said, "Confess your sins to him so you can rest easy." Michael starts confessing everything to him and is very sad about everything. His work, especially since he killed his brother, was imposed one day. But the negligent person guides him and tells him that there is still time for the sake of changing and sitting Michael. He will change very soon and they will let him walk. But if he stays on the drum, he will go to the killer, Major, who is very dangerous. His name is Mosca, and he asks him to kill Michael, and he starts preparing himself and his son for him. This mission is far from all of this. The Pope died, my friend, and a new Pope was appointed in his place, John, whom Michael used to talk to before, when he conveyed this news to the thief priest. Of course, he is very crazy, because he knows that John Sharif is calling his boss all the time and telling him this news. We discover his boss is the one who we know that he is the one who runs everything from bottom to bottom and wants to destroy Michael, piece by piece, in order for him to get a public partnership. We will return again to Mosca, his son, and those who leave in the priest's clothes. They go to kill you, but on the road by chance. He sees them as statues, so he stops them and asks Mosca what you are going to do at that moment. Michael has Hassan and she reveals it. He and his son quickly kill him and flee the place completely. After a while, news reaches Michael, and he gets very upset. He goes to his funeral in his coffin and keeps saying goodbye to him and apologizing to him because, of course, he was the reason for his death. He promises him that he will stop this path completely so that no one else gets into trouble at all. After a while, Michael comes and knows that he wants to kill Heskey because he knows that Heskey is controlling him. Everything and all the misfortunes that happened to them at the end of this period. At that time, Michael felt that he saw himself. He is a young man, so he does not want him to follow the same path. And Michael tells him that if he gives him this permission, his life began to turn into hell. And therefore he asked him, can you pay the price for this transformation, because the first of these taxes will be that you will leave with your loyalty and effort. Because of course his ambition is very, very greater than his love, of course, makes him upset. But in the brazier he gathers all his men and gets to know them. He is the new one and leaves them and walks away. He saw the men kissing and feeling at that time. that he had finally handed over the banner to him so that he could start his path, which will definitely also be covered in blood like Mike. The next day we will be at a party, or in other words, it is Anthony's musical. So of course everyone goes among those who come. He arrives there. You go to him, welcome him, and also give him sweets to eat. And of course this is not out of love for him, nothing, but she gave him poison. Oh, poison, my friend. In general he takes it and they appreciate the play. On the other hand, he started his work immediately without joking because one of his followers goes to Hexy because Cotter kills him very well at that time, and they do not find him with any weapon that enters him. It is very normal for him to meet quickly. My friend is pulling this man's glasses, and I mean, I definitely don't need to tell you that Raja is still here, so they killed him all the time. And in the church, someone also arrives and kills the traitorous palace. And another person also goes to help the department. I told you about him before, and he kills him too. So the family killed all its enemies just like that. We are always used to a play where you keep watching the Topello until you find it dead. So you are happy and you lose a good party and they all leave the hall. And here the problem remains, because suddenly Moscow appears, and without warning, he shoots me. Michael comes with his shoulder, and then settles in his daughter Mary's womb. And unfortunately, she dies in front of her father. A very sad scene at that time. And it ends in Moscow. But Michael is in another world and keeps crying. He screams at his daughter, whom he did not have time to be happy with. And he is hopeless, and feels that he is currently making me happy. The fruits of his many bad deeds that he did all his life after Mary's death pass by for a while. Very respectable for all of this. And you see that Michael settled in Sicily alone and is very, very helpless, sad for everything that happened throughout his life. In the final scene, Michael Corleone dies alone. He is sad after they finished. That's it. Everyone who loves them either died, or the part died from him after that. And thus he feels that at the last moment of his life, all that he did was nothing. It is necessary not to destroy him personally. And here will be the end of the greatest series in history, which I hope, my friend, you liked it, but that's it. Peace.